Okay.
Yay!
Resume!
Resume! You want to know what's on my resume? I have my Bachelor of Arts.
My Bachelor of Arts?
My Bachelor of Arts.
Your Bachelor of Arts?
Oh, yeah. And
sorry, just kidding. So you want to go talk to your crew?
Oh.
Because they want to talk to you.
Did
Oh, you want to look at the codex?
I
That's what you want to do, don't you?
I didn't. What is opening my codex?
Oh, sorry, Dvorak. I'm such a jerk.
Why do you like the Dvorak? It's so silly.
Oh, it's the most best.
Not when you're trying to use Corrie.
Oh, let's examine the comlink.
Codex.
Codex. Should we have a codex run?
I guess we could do a codex. Let's get to in front of the galaxy again.
Okay.
It looks cooler.
The galaxy looks very cool. Hey, galaxy. How you doing? It's a classic galaxy.
An aggressive colonization of worlds in the
they look
Stellian
funny.
Verge. Much to the dismay
I like
of the
it.
Batarian,
How old am I?
retaliated with a crushing assault
How old
on
am
the
I?
moon of
Let's find
Batarian's
out.
retreat.
So yeah, Batarians. Not that nice.
Cut off
Have
from
cut off
the
relations
Citadel.
with the Citadel.
And now against the humans.
Yeah,
Timeline.
time. 2154. 23 so 54.
Oh.
So 29. Yeah, sounds about
Read
right.
it up before you! I'm so happy.
I love you. And you were 22. And you became the hero. The Skidding Blitz.
Skilling Blitzen.
I should name a football play after that.
I like it.
Citadel
Citadel? Ooh,
space
that's a
is
cool
an
picture.
unofficial term referring to any region of space controlled by a species that acknowledges the authority of the Citadel Council. Less than 1% of the stars have been explored.
It's not very many.
Even Mass Effect FTL drive is slow relative
We can be
to the
awesome
volume
explorers.
of the galaxy.
No, I just
Empty space
love
and
that space
systems
is so
without suitable
huge.
Oh, yeah,
discharge sites. The ammo magazine is a simple block of metal. The gun's internal computer calculates the mass needed to reach the target based on distance, gravity, and atmospheric pressure.
It's so
Then it
crazy.
fires off an appropriate-sized slug from the block. A single
right?
block can supply thousands of rounds, making ammo a
Nice.
non-issue during any engagement.
Don't worry
Can we-
about it when you're
Oh,
ready.
no. I'm sorry.
I mean, unless you don't want to talk to your crew.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to my crew. How do I go back?
I would recommend it. They're interesting people. You can even go up and talk to Joker if you want. You did just talk to Navigator Presley. So.
Side. Talk. Okay.
Does look like it. Oh, stairs.
What are the blue dots?
Blue dots? Oh, those are people you can talk to. There we go. Okay. What's up?
Ah, it's you. Words?
Anything you need, Commander?
Huh?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander.
What?
We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What does that mean?
Okay, so if you don't want to
What's
talk.
your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Your forehead is very shiny.
Yeah, to think this. Whoops. Not what I meant to do. Whoops, not what I meant to do. Is there anybody else I can talk to?
We can look at the map if you want to see. Sleeper pod. So you want to check the map? That's that one.
Ah!
I guess. Okay, looks like Kate's the only person down.
Ew.
But you can head down to the something or other.
I have no idea what the something or other is.
The docking something. Elevators around the corner. Oh,
Uh-huh. Whoa. People.
all
Hello.
of the people.
We'll start in the back.
Sounds good.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is.
Nice.
Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our
Good.
engines than I do.
Cool.
She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I didn't.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for Tali, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
I don't really know why I came
So
down
suspicious.
here. I just wanted to talk.
Yeah,
I like
we've-
people.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too
I'm
much
really
heat
dumb
and
for a
radiation.
specter.
Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself.
Nice.
Emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
Oh, we don't want that, do we?
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space.
Yeah.
Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up the FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare.
Oh dear.
Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
The only one.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship.
Only a
Couldn't hold
cruise.
a candle to the Normandy, though.
I mean, few ships can.
I want to know more about the
Hold
Normandy.
candles.
She's the best ship I've ever served on. Probably the fastest vessel ever designed. She's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
Oh, really?
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Sounds
Proportional,
tantalizing.
about twice the size of
Yeah!
any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Yeah.
It's not the only one.
Your
True.
ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small.
I took some
I'm
hard
starting
work,
to
but
understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
admittedly, the Turians help with this one.
Normandy's a prototype, cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the get.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
That's
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work.
that makes sense as long as you keep updating it.
We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel.
Yeah.
But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have.
That makes sense.
That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Yes.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla.
I would get annoyed
Each
having
of
a
us
master
relies on the others for survival.
Yeah.
The bonds among my people are strong.
Well,
Unfortunately,
doesn't really have a choice.
we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than
Ew.
one child.
Yeah.
If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course,
Oh,
we
just build
also
more ships.
can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births. Though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials?
In practice, the Conclave
matter.
and the
How about
respective
when I
council
have
for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily
Democracy
lives.
has each
But in
person.
theory, we are still
right?
under military jurisdiction.
No, other way around.
The 5 top-ranking military officials
Democracy
in
is
the fleet
representatives.
serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency.
I think it's the other way.
To do so requires unanimous
Oh, right.
agreement among the Admiralty.
The Republic
They
is
can
representatives.
only do this once.
No
After
worries.
that, the entire board must resign their
That's
posts.
fine. We're a
It's a
democratic
safeguard
republic.
that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board
America.
has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
In case we have any viewers who live in other countries.
Hi! Can
Hey,
we visit you?
that'd be awesome. Just let us know on our various social media pages if you'd like to host us.
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile.
So a while
All I
back.
know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Uh-oh.
How come the council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought.
Uh-oh.
But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously
Oh.
created an inherently unstable matrix.
Yep, so when they get together, they...
So the Geth share
Get
brain power?
together. Yeah.
Many of the Geth's logic systems were
Second time
designed
that
to
song's
work
come
in
today.
systems with other nearby Geth.
I'm like the fifth.
Basically,
I
the
just keep
more of them
singing.
you have in
I
the
have
group,
a
the
song in my head.
smarter they are.
So there's some sort of group consciousness.
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information.
Huh.
Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input.
Interesting.
Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
Interesting.
That doesn't make any sense.
Not
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose?
Hmm.
As you can
That's
imagine, this
scary.
caused a near panic among my people.
Scared.
Aha! I'm scared.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane,
You're
repetitive,
so
or
silly,
dangerous
Commander.
manual labor. That's fine for machines,
I'm a
but it
specter.
won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves.
Which is not the
It was
best.
inevitable the newly sentient Geth would
Slavery is
rebel against
bad.
their situation. We knew they would
We
rise
pointed
up
them like they're
against us,
engaging in
so we
slavery.
acted
No.
first.
So don't do
Reminding
it.
them.
Went out
Yeah.
across all Quarry
Slavery's
control
bad.
It
systems
is.
to permanently deactivate all Geth.
And it's still
Isn't
going
there a
on.
website called slaveryfootprint.org or something like that where you can see what your slavery footprint is? Like how many slaves in effect actually work for you based on
Yeah.
what you buy
Yeah, it's true.
and put your money into? Kind of crazy. Not okay.
Hey, you can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated.
Uh-oh.
The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld.
Yep.
We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the veil. Now we drift through space, exile, searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I don't.
I mean, if you don't feel like commenting on that, you don't have to.
I think that they were wrong, and not them. They were right in trying to stop the force before it started.
I mean, if that's what was going on.
Yeah. Come on, Commander. You're sounding like you're against her.
I want to know
For
more
them.
about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We
Makes
set off
sense.
alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring
Is
back to
that
the
your
fleet.
learning?
This is presented as
Yep.
a gift to the captain of the respective ship we
This
wish
is a
to
great
join.
learning experience right here.
If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
That's
I
dangerous.
can't believe they just send you off alone.
Kind of does.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness
Cool.
and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most.
And that's why
By the
the
time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the
suits.
pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
Let's change
I want
topics.
to talk about something
that's
else.
enough.
Whoa!
Whoa. Like nothing.
I should go.
There's nothing more interesting you can say to
See
me.
you
That's
later.
really weird.
Let's talk about something else. You're kind of boring me right now, Tali. No offense.
No, she's so cool.
She is
I
really cool.
like her.
Yeah. Either door works.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I was thinking that was opening that big circle thing in front of me.
Oh my
It's like-
goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of big circles. Sorry, folks, we're not entirely sure what's doing.
I don't know.
It has something to do with the controller that we're using, but...
Oh.
Garrus.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander.
Hi.
I knew working with the Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Oh, did you?
Have you worked with it before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
There will be no swearing on this ship, Mr. Vicarian.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Sometimes they're not.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work.
I know the
If I'm
feeling.
trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol
Not
and procedure
inhumanely.
come first. That's
Yeah.
why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that.
No, you're not
Didn't
human.
start out bad, but as I rose in ranks,
I know he's
I
not a
got
human,
saddled
but
with
it's a
more and more
concept.
red tape.
Yeah.
CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC.
Yeah.
Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
Good, good.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It's like that girl. Mom! Wait,
You
where?
better get your butt up here!
Where were we? Yeah, we were at a park nearby, and there was like this tower. We went up, and there's this little girl that's just like, Mama, you better get your butt up here! Whatever. It's like, oh my word, child.
It's going to be in a vlog of ours.
Yeah.
We'll have a link to it somewhere about here. How about that? Click right here. If you're on the desktop anyway. Yeah, click right there. If you can, if not, there'll be a link in the description. So it's pretty funny.
Mom, you better get your butt up here. Whatever.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
Kind of sad.
That too.
Kind of just sad.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Oof.
Whew. Oh my.
I could use a massage. Okay.
Is that a hint?
I could always use a massage though. I have pretty bad back. Okay. I guess it depends.
If getting the job
I
done
guess.
means endangering
Yes.
innocent people, then no. We get the job done right,
Yes.
not
Yes, yes,
fast.
yes.
Got it?
Got
I
it.
wasn't trying to. I understand, Commander.
Oh.
Ooh, the Mako.
Kodak.
Good eggs. Okay. Oh, look who it is. Gunnery Chief
Commander?
Williams.
Can we talk?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
That makes sense.
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit.
Yes, ma'am. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
It's true.
They have flashlight heads, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duty squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
Oh, sorry, that was
Um.
my fault.
Yeah.
Silly mouse.
Dismissed, Chief.
Dismissed.
Ma'am.
Chief.
What is going on? Why are we having hostility?
I mean, I don't think you are. Because she does want to talk later. Just doesn't have the time right now.